Hello everybody, back again with another video. Today's video is going to be over the DC Multiverse Captain Boomerang, which is a part of the McFarlane Collector Edition. And as many of you know already, there is a platinum version of this figure. I will not be going after that figure. I do not care for it by any means whatsoever. But anyways, let's get into the actual packaging. So as you can see, you got 12 plus here at the top, just like every other McFarlane figure. And then you got the 22 moving parts as well. And moving on to the side, you're going to get Captain Boomerang with the McFarlane Collector Edition there in a little chrome coloring. And then you got from the Flash underneath. Kind of makes sense since he is primarily a Flash villain. And then you got number 13 there at the bottom, which shows he is number 13 in the Collector Edition line. And moving on to the back, you're going to get this art, Captain Boomerang from the Flash there at the top. And then this artwork, to me, I guess it's kind of cool, but I don't know, if just the green kind of throws it off for me, the green shading that is. It's all right, but also it doesn't really match the figure because he doesn't have that nice beard going all around. Also, he is much skinnier looking, but we'll get into the actual figure here soon. So this art overall is okay, but I feel like could have been better or something else could have been chosen. And then here is the last side. You're going to get Captain Boomerang, DC Multiverse there at top, and number 13 again here at the bottom. And then for those who want to kind of search in store, here is the actual barcode. And other than that, let's get into the actual figure. Starting off, the first thing you're going to get is the regular Collector Edition plate or stand that is. Nothing different other than the fact that it is silver compared to the normal figures. And as well, you're going to get another card stand, kind of a waste of plastic, been over time again. Will look cool if you have the space, but many of us don't already. And then getting into the card, same art as there is on the back of the box. Overall, like I said, it's just okay, but as always, I do like the fact that the McFarlane Collector Edition is there on the side in a chrome coloring. Then on the back, just to read up more on the character, Captain Boomerang from the Flash, data file, real name is George Digger Harkness. George Digger Harkness is a mercenary and killer with an aptitude for boomerangs and other projectiles. Antagonistic and often annoying to those around him, he has fought the Flash, and since his incarceration has become a member of the Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad. So there is just a little read up on the actual character. Moving on to his accessories, as you can already guess, you're going to get 2 boomerangs. Here's just one for reference. No point to show the other because it's exactly the same. Now going on to the additional hands, you're going to get a right and left of this hand gesture, whatever you want to call it, kind of like a palm out. Yeah, no idea what to call this gesture, but yes, you do get 2 of these. And on to the next hand, or hands, because they're the same as well. You're going to get a little kind of like holding hand for the right and left, as you can see. So pretty much that is all when it comes to the additional accessories, etc. Now moving on to the part and reason you're all here. For those who are wondering, you can most likely remove the jacket. I'm not even going to try, but it is tempting considering the jacket already seems like it's oversized, and I'm kind of more used to Boomerang just having a blue shirt in general. Sometimes he wears a jacket, but like I said, it's usually smaller than this. I feel like it was a bit oversized, but the actual shirt does go all the way down to the actual wrist, as you can see, just barely there. Comes with a scarf, and yes, it is cloth goods. Kind of like my first ever cloth goods, that is, besides some Star Wars figures I had as a kid. So this is something new and kind of a different approach. Even though, as well, it doesn't really match the art that was given because his beard is a lot more grown out on the actual figure that they decided to make compared to the art on the card. But yeah, I do kind of like this jacket, although it does seem a bit long. but there's no reason I'm going to remove it unless I decide to take a quick photo, because I'll probably lose it. And you do get the scarf if you couldn't already tell. And then just to show more of the shirt and what's underneath, here is like additional boomerangs, although it's kind of funny because the boomerangs here are obviously a lot smaller than the ones he actually holds and comes with, so that is kind of strange in my opinion. And then on the belt, you can see just kind of some pockets going on here, and then more pocket, another pocket there attached to the leg, and on this side another pocket as well. And underneath, you're just going to see the strap going around in general, and it looks like the strap from the front actually kind of goes underneath right here, as you can see. And moving on to the boot texturing, some great texturing going on here, so you can see. Fantastic paint. The pants have it as well. The shirt's kind of just bland in terms of texturing, but there is texturing there, as you can see. And you're gonna get this nice little cap going on with the boomerang in the front. The hands are pretty regular, and the jacket just has that texturing here on the back. But that pretty much seems to be all the texturing kind of detail you need to know about. So let's get into the actual articulation. Now, since this figure actually uses cloth goods instead of just kind of like a plastic jacket, hopefully the head should actually be able to move and not be blocked by the jacket because of it being so. And yes, that is the case, although the scarf is mostly likely going to rise up because of the fact that it is kind of like grazing against his chin, or I guess beard hairs, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there is that. Can go side to side, no issue. Then going down, try to move that out of the way that much, so pretty much all the way. And going up seems like doesn't really want to go up at all. It's pretty much all you're going to get there. So yes, it can do 360 as well. There you go. The scarf didn't really come into play there at all. Now moving on to the arms, still going to be able to move it up despite the jacket, so at least there's enough leeway to allow that to happen. But yes, he can do a T-pose. Let me just raise it up more to show. Okay, there you go. So perfect, no issue. And when it comes to rotation, because of the jacket, it is actually going to be kind of stopped or slowed down, but I'm sure if you remove the jacket, you'll be able to do so. But right now, it doesn't seem like it's all there. And it comes to the actual, yes, there is rotation on the actual bicep. I feel like I should probably try to remove the jacket, just try to get the articulation and show it. I'm not sure. It'd probably be a while before I can take it off. But there is bicep movement, as you can see. And then when it comes to the elbow with the jacket, I'm just going to do that. You can bend this much. Actually, this much. There you go. I decided to push it a little bit. And when it comes to the actual wrist, there you go. Full movement. And going down with the hands, let's see. It's like this much in terms of going down, raising up about this much. So kind of regular, not super extended at all. And to me, it looks like the jacket's not really ruined by bending the elbow, but I'm sure that could potentially ruin it in the future if you play with it so often and bend the elbows constantly. And moving on to the actual ab crunch, okay, if you push it back too much, you're going to get exposure there in the middle, which is really kind of unfortunate in my opinion. So yeah, it sucks when that happens. And going forward and get some ab crunch there, so you can see. But you can also move the upper torso there, side to side, no issue. But yeah, if you move it back too much, you're gonna get exposed there in the middle, which is very unfortunate. I wish there was a way to cover that up more from McFarlane. And then you're gonna get some movement there in the legs. You can probably do 360, but I'm not really going to do that because it seems pointless. Why would you pose it that way? And moving on to the splits, be able to get splits about this much. And then when it comes to the actual knees, there you go. So all the way, pretty nice. And when it comes to the boot, since I realized recently some can rotate, doesn't seem like it wants to rotate here. So there is that. And when it comes to the foot, side to side, down around 360, there you go. Goes up this much and goes down this much, which is a pretty great amount if you ask me. And then toe articulation, here you go. Now with that being said, let me get into my final thoughts on this figure. So what are my final thoughts on Captain Boomerang? There are some inconsistencies and inaccuracies, such as kind of like consistency issues is that McFarlane continues to struggle with the super enlarged accessories. You can see the boomerang is super enlarged, and then literally on the strap of his chest, they're way smaller, so that is unfortunate to see. And then moving on to the actual beard that they put on the figure, it's way different from what's shown on the actual art of the card and the box, so that's also another issue. And last but not least, the jacket. Nice to see that they actually included it, but it may be a little too long, if not way much longer than it should have been. Now, an issue I can see is that if you pose the elbows too much, it could potentially rip the jacket over time. That should not be an issue with the actual scarf because it is a much more thin material compared to the jacket. And yes, you can take the jacket off. I was just afraid to do so. And I may actually consider doing that in the future to see the nice blue shirt underneath. I just feel like that's something more of what I'm used to for Captain Boomerang. I guess, yeah, he does kind of like wear a jacket, but I think I may prefer him without the jacket if I'm being honest. But there is that. It's nice, like I said, that they at least included cloth goods for this figure. And when it comes to posability and articulation, I'd say the articulation is pretty darn good for what it is. And with the jacket on, the only issue is there, like I said, in the midsection. If you bend it back too much, there will be exposure of the inside. So that is something that's kind of like an issue in my opinion. Don't really see that much from McFarlane figures that have came out recently, but for some reason it is present on him. So that is an issue. Overall, I would say my thoughts and my final score is that it will lead to, I would have to say, a 8.7 out of 10 from me, just because of those issues and kind of like consistency differences overall. That's going to wrap up today's review. If you did like this review, please like, comment, subscribe down below. Until next time, happy collecting. Peace out.